Yo, what's going on, everyone? Z-Buzz here. Welcome back to our Lakers rebuild, basically part 2, this time without LeBron James or AD. So, you know this team. You basically, again, the Lakers are a big team, so you know their starting lineup. You know, Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, Gabe Vincent, Hachimura, Reddish, and Hayes, Kendrick Nunn, Tayshaun Prince. Half of the year, we're at the 7th seed, so this isn't the best that we could do. If you look at our stats, you can see we have, LeBron gets his stats, AD gets his stats. But after that, you see a big decrease in kind of production. So I'm kind of looking, this is where I'm kind of looking. I'm like, maybe we trade D'Lo. Maybe we trade D'Lo, we get kind of, players that can contribute a little bit more or on less of a contract so that we can... if we want to go into free agency, of course, because this will be without LeBron, without AD. If we just want that extra capital and we don't want to be stuck with D'Lo for another year, we can do that. But I'm just looking through trades. I'm looking through Miles Bridges. I'm kind of thinking, Miles Bridges, do I want him? I'm like, I don't really think so, but I'm going to try another trade. I'm trying to try D'Lo and Tayshaun Prince. So this will be my second, attempt at a trade again. I'm looking at most of the options. Like and subscribe if you guys do like this video. It really helps me out. I've been seeing a lot of growth in this channel recently, and it's been really helpful. I got a comment that said basically that, your content's been really good, which it makes my day. So, yeah. So we're just going to be simulating the second half of the year here. Basically, we go on this LA team is really weird. Because, again, they traded most of their capital, or most of their future away in draft picks for Anthony Davis. So, once LeBron, I think they have their 26 and 27 first-round picks. So, if LeBron goes, if AD goes, what is this team going to be? Is this team going to be someone that's going to be able to attract big free agents still? If they don't have, youth on their team? Or is this team going to be kind of, we're going to trade AD, we're going to trade the rest of those players to kind of get draft picks. So are we going to be seeing, an exodus of players in the next couple of years of players that don't really want to be in LA anymore? So you see there, LeBron left. Anthony Davis did not want to re-sign, and I'm like, it's good because I didn't want to re-sign him anyways. But now we're looking at the new richest contract in the NBA, Jaylen Brown. We're going to sign him. I know it's a little unrealistic going from the Celtics to LA, but I see him and I'm kind of like, okay, let's kind of go in a win now spot. So let's try to bring in DeMar. I know he was linked to LA a couple years ago when LeBron came. When they signed Russ, it was supposed to be between Russ and DeMar DeRozan and a few other players. So we're looking at our team. Without LeBron, we have no small forward. We have no shooting guard. Not shooting guard. We have no center. So I'm going to be bringing in kind of a few players. I'm going to try to bring in Beasley. Going to try to bring in maybe Mo Bamba. I like bringing in Mo Bamba just because he's a good defensive center in this game. But we can't sign both of those guys, so I kind of screwed myself there. So I'm going to be looking at the small forwards again. Looking actually at shooting guards right now. Sign Kendrick Nunn back. Go to center. Willie Hernan Gomez. Yep. Sign him to the minimum. I thought we were looking at small forwards. Yeah, we were looking at small forwards. Going to bring Shetty Osman into the team. We're going to sign him to a minimum. So those three players are kind of going to be, again, this is the rough part of the rebuild. Where we don't have young players coming through, really. But we don't have the luxury of saying that we have our future. So we're going to be making our first trade here. We're going to be trading for Rozier and Mike Williams from the Charlotte Hornets. I'm going to move Rozier back to the point guard so we don't have to have Hood at our Schaffenrow. Sorry, I haven't really pronounced his name ever. So when I don't pronounce the name ever, it kind of doesn't come out the way that it's meant to. But yeah, at this part of the season, we absolutely suck. This rebuild, again, Jaylen Brown was putting up his numbers. DeMar was putting up his numbers. We had Reeves and Rozier putting up decent numbers, but after that, again, big decrease. So we're seeing that it's maybe our depth that is causing us to kind of think. So I'm like, okay, so this team isn't going to work. I mean, DeMar's gonna regress. Let's look for trades for him. We don't really see anything we really like that's kind of, in our age range. So now we're going to be looking at trades for Terry Rozier. Again, this is just kind of looking at, let's see a first round pick from Chicago. I was thinking about that, but then we see this trade for Norman Powell and Russ. I'm like, you know what, let's bring Russ back. I mean, we're not going to be any good. Let's bring Russ back, and let's see if he can give us a jolt offensively. So we're looking at the new team here. Again, I don't think this team, I always say this, but I don't think this team is too bad. I don't think this team is a team that should be 29th in the league. So we're just going to keep going here. Kind of have a good end of the year, if I do believe so. No, we were terrible at the end. Never mind. I thought we went on a good run here at the end of the season. Do we? Let's see here. Let's watch this together. So there we go. There's a couple wins. There's one loss. So yeah, we do. I think we do pick it up and kind of become more of a respectable team. I think we even make the play. And LaMelo Ball wins MVP. Collier wins Rookie of the Year. Brandon Miller wins Most Improved. We don't get anyone in the all-first, second, or third team. But I think we get Jaylen Brown in the all-second defensive team. And we don't make the play-in. So we don't make the play-in here. And, of course, the worst team in the NBA, the team I absolutely hate the most, the OKC Thunder, win another championship. So now we're going on to into the draft. We have, I think it was the 12th overall pick. So we have the 12th overall pick. We're just going to draft Asamoah to kind of be a younger piece. Hopefully can kind of develop or be used as a trade piece. So we're going to be looking at that. Then we're looking kind of at the free agency, and I'm kind of seeing like what we can do. So I think we're good at shooting guard. I think we're good at maybe power forward. I think we're good at center. So what we really need is we're going to see if you have any bird rights, but we really need a backup point guard. So we're going to be looking at backup point guards. We're going to be looking at centers. So point guards, we see Russ. Russ wants $20 million. We're like, we can't afford that. I wish that Russ was kind of more realistic, where older players would kind of re-sign for less money if they wanted. How in Madden, how it goes, like if you're close to home, or if you're in a warm weather state, or if you're in a big market, that can affect the free agency signings. So we're looking at the team here for, I think, season number 3. We're going to be trading John Collins, Norman Powell, and our first round pick, Asamoah. But we're going to be trading for Justin Edwards, who's a great defensive player in this game. We're still 27th in the league, or 27th, overall in the league. So we're not doing well. Jaylen Brown, again, putting up numbers. Justin Edwards is putting up really good numbers for basically coming off the bench most of the time. But yeah, again, like this team is in such a, without LeBron, without AD, I mean, if they both leave, this team is in such a rough kind of in a rough shape. Like they're not built for, unless they get free agency coming in, unless they get free agents coming in, they get these big names coming in, they don't have the draft capital to go out and make a big trade or to build in the draft. So free agency is really what the Lakers are going to be depending on, at least for the next, I believe, if it's anything like this rebuild, the next 10 years. So, I mean, like, what is this team going to do, when those guys go? I mean, if LeBron only has one more year left in LA, is he going to turn over and be AD's team? And can AD even lead a team like that? Can AD, let me know in the comment section down below. Can AD lead a team to kind of, a playoff team, or enough to kind of bring people in? So we're going to be trading Jaylen Brown here for the second overall pick. We're also going to be picking up a second round pick for them in a first round from Atlanta for 2 seconds. So there we go. We get some draft capital so we can kind of start building from the draft. So we're going to be driving Koe Pete here. I think that's how you pronounce his first name, Pete. I'll just say Pete. With the 10th overall pick, we're going to select Bryce James. And then I'm looking, and we have salary cap because we just traded away Jaylen Brown. So I'm looking at maybe a Kevin Durant, move him to power forward, and really have this good mix of having star power, which LA loves. LA loves star power, as well as having young players that can, grow and that you can kind of build around for the future. So I'm looking at, we're going to bring back players like Rui Hachimura. We're going to bring back Rudy Gobert. We're going to bring back Mark Williams, sorry about that. As well as bring in Kevin Durant. So again, this is really kind of, we're only going to give him a 2-year deal, I think, with a player option. 2-year deal, player option. He's going to probably accept the player option because of how old he is. But now we're looking at Hood, Williams, Pete, Durant, Gobert, Mark Williams, Austin Reeves, Hachimura, Bryce James. And I think this team it's going to be an improvement from the last few years. So we're looking at stats here. Justin Edwards went completely off in 34 games. He missed a couple games here and there, but 22 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists basically. Durant's averaging 19. I'll say 19. It's 18.7, but I'll say basically 19. But now we're going to be looking at, kind of what we can kind of get for maybe just kind of looking at our team, seeing what we can kind of trade here, see if there are any trades that we can make. Maybe a Hachimura trade would make sense. So I'm kind of looking around. I see Jalen Williams. I'm like, do we really need another center at this stage? I'm like, not really. So we're just going to keep all the players we have and just kind of continue to simulate. We are basically almost, I think we do get there. We're 10 games above 500. So again, we have been improving after, LeBron and AD left. Going all in with the youth is really helping us, and it does help us going into the future. So, as you see here, we're going to finish off the second half of the year very impressively. We go 15 games above 500. We go on a little bit of a losing streak to end off the year. We get a couple wins, mostly losses. Pete wins Rookie of the Year. We don't get anyone else. We're looking at the All-NBA teams. We see Anthony Davis normally makes it there on third team, but he didn't make it there this year. No one on All-Defensive team. We have Pete and Bryce James, both on the All-NBA or on the All-Rookie first team. And we finished as the 6th seed. So we're going against Utah Jazz with Davion Mitchell, Jalen Suggs, kind of those seed. Then we go against Victor Wembanyama and Jaylen Brown. And I'm like, oh, geez, I've created another power team. I've created another OKC Thunder. So we lose in 6th there. Of course, for once, the OKC Thunder don't make it to the finals. The Spurs make it. We get the 2nd overall pick from that Atlanta pick, if you remember that one. If you remember that Atlanta pick that we actually picked up kind of as just kind of a throw-in at the trade that we made for the 2nd overall pick. So if you see there, we're going to pick up Jalen McKnight Jr., or Jamal McKnight Jr. But if you see there, we got, from Jaylen Brown, we got a 2nd overall pick. We got 2 2nd overall picks and a 2nd round pick. So I think that's pretty good value there. So looking at the stats here for season, I don't know what season it is anymore. Edwards having an amazing year. Pete's having a really good year. Durant with his old age is doing okay. But yeah, I think I really wanted to win a championship in this video. And I kind of know that the Lakers are, if you don't get one in year 1 or 2, with LeBron and AD, it's a very hard team to kind of win a championship with, especially in the West with the San Antonio Spurs, with the OKC Thunder, with the Houston Rockets. It's going to be a very hard conference to kind of get out of if all goes well for those teams like it does in 2K. Because those players that they have and those amount of draft capital they have is very scary. So we're looking at the All-NBA 2nd team. Pete gets on there already. Edwards gets on first team All-Defense, which is very good. So we have one guy on the first team. We have one guy on the first defensive team. Now we're going up here against the Portland Trailblazers with Anthony Black, Shannon Sharp, Carter Bryant. They got Victor Wembanyama somehow, which I'm not even going to question. I don't even care anymore. Who cares? So now we go against the New Orleans Pelicans with Bronny James. If you guys heard about what happened to Bronny James, big prayers up to him. Hopefully he can come back from this and kind of, we can all kind of support him at this time. But, not to get, anything into it, but it's just a very scary moment for the family all involved, and it's very scary for everyone involved. So hopefully he's going to be okay and he's going to be able to come back to play basketball this year. Who knows, but hopefully he does, because, he was, he's been someone that we've been watching his whole life, basically. And to see somebody this kind of hopefully not derail it, it's very upsetting, especially for an 18-year-old. But now we're back to the video. We're going to be looking at trades. We're going to trade for Julius Randle. We traded for Walker Kessler for Julius Randle, I think it was. So now we're trading between McKnight Jr., Edwards, Pete, Durant, Kessler, Hood, OG Anunoby, Bridges. Again, I think this team's very good. This is the team. This is the team. We're finally going to win a championship. But, of course, we got to go through kind of the stats and all that stuff. Pete gets all-NBA team again. All-NBA first team. Flowers gets all-defensive first team. We finish off with the second seed, of course, next to the OKC Thunder, because they're an absolute cheat code. And, of course, we get a team with Cade Cunningham and Devin Booker in the first round. Thankfully, we sweep them. We go against a team that beat us out last year. They lost a few players. They got Zion still. We beat them. Now we're against the OKC Thunder. And I'm looking at this OKC Thunder team, and I'm like, they're all not that scary. So I'm like, I think we have a chance here. We lose in 6. We lose in 6. They win the NBA championship with not a single 90 overall on their team, I don't believe. But they beat us in 6 and they win the championship. So now we're going on to year number whatever. It's some year. We're going to be looking at the stats. Pete's having an MVP level season. McKnight's having a very good season. Edwards having a very good season. Our players are doing well. So we finished this year 55 and 27. Victor Wembanyama wins Defensive Player of the Year, of course. Pete wins that. He has all NBA first team. We finish off as a second seed yet again. The Pelicans get the first. We're going up against the Memphis Grizzlies with John Morant, Jalen McDaniels. A team that you wouldn't expect to lose to. But of course, in 6, we lose in the first round. So, what do I know about rebuilding anything? It is absolutely terrible. I have no idea what I'm doing. We're going to be trading Hood Schifino. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But we're going to be trading him for Trae Young. Just kind of booster up our bench. Again, because our starting lineup is so good. You kind of have to boost up the bench. I have basically a 90 overall coming off the bench. We finished this with 64 and 18. Jamal wins MVP. Quinn Schneider, our coach, wins Coach of the Year. So, again, we got Coach of the Year. We got the MVP. We have a very good team. I'm like, okay, this is the year. This is going to be the year. We finished off as the first team by quite a bit. The stats, looking for the stats to the whole NBA for a little bit, and I got confused. I'm like, this isn't the LA Lakers. But we're looking at the stats here. McKnight has an excellent season. Pete has an excellent season. Edwards has an excellent season. Even Trae Young has a good season. So we're going to be playing the Sacramento Kings in the first round with Sadiq Bey, Anthony Davis, those kind of players. We beat them in 4. So now we're going after the Portland Trailblazers, Bronny James, Chris Middleton. They still have Victor Wembanyama. Beat them in 5. Now we have my absolute enemies in the OKC Thunder. We lose to them in 7. And wait, watch this. We lose to them by 1 in Game 7. By 1. And they win another championship. They won 5. It's so stupid. We're going to get into the next year. We are 48 and 7. I'm like, okay, this is our year. McKnight Jr. is having a great year. Edwards having a great year. Pete having a great year. Even one of our rookies that we got like the 15th overall pick or the 17th overall pick, he's doing quite well, averaging 15. So I'm like, okay, look at all these W's. You know, we eat those dubs, but we're gonna be able to get by here with one. So we keep going here. This is year number 9. It's year number 9, and I still haven't won a championship. But we keep going here. We get a couple losses. We're aiming for 70, not 70 wins, but we were aiming for 68 wins. We got 68 wins. Bryce wins 6th man of the year, of course, after we traded him a couple years ago. McKnight gets all NBA first team. Pete gets all defensive first team. I think he was on all defensive first team too. But we're just going to simulate the playoffs here because honestly, this team shouldn't lose. And we go up against the MVP and the Brooklyn Nets, so I'm like, okay, we should have this game pretty, like, we have a much better team than they do. They go up 3-1. And you just watch how it goes. But thank you guys very much for watching the video. I know this is a little bit longer than what I normally do, but I just kind of had to go a couple more years to kind of get this rebuild kind of back in place. But thank you guys very much for watching, and see ya.